And so we're going to skip around a little bit today. Not my normal kind of sermon where I just take you to a text and I teach you through the text. So we're going to skip around a little bit. I think some of this was motivated to me by a friend. The two sermons I'm about to preach over the next couple of Sundays was motivated by a friend of mine. And some years ago, a good deacon said to me, Pastor, one of the things I appreciate about you after 10 years of listening to you preach is you constantly tap nails. And that was like, what? If you saw me with a hammer and nail, small children run when they see me with a hammer and a nail. I said, what do you mean by that? He goes, well, I'm in construction. I said, yeah, I do. He said, you know that when you build a fence outside or you do things outside in the weather, that every couple of years you often have to go back and tap the nail back in. It starts to slowly, the weather, the cold, the wind, starts to move the nail. And I was like, okay, no, I didn't know that. But okay, I'll take your word for it. He said, well, that's what you do when you're preaching. And I was like, okay, that's a great analogy. Explain it to me. He said, in your sermons, you constantly are going back and you're saying things that we know already, but sometimes they slip a little bit and you're tapping the nail to just put the nail back in place. I'm like, ow, that's a great analogy to what we read in Scripture when Scripture says here a little, there a little, line upon line, precept upon precept. In other words, it's a constant reminder, and then you take a step forward and you remind us. Have any of you ever read a book to a 2-year-old? Yeah. I have a 3-year-old grandson, a 2-year-old granddaughter, a 1.5-year-old grandson, and like a 6-month-old. And I got to tell you, Pop Read to me is a favorite. Yesterday, Braden and I we sang